The climate change, with the associated warming, the ultimate result is that over 90% of the heat is absorbed by the ocean. And we also know that ice melt from ice sheets are going to add to the sea level rise significantly, and there are some uncertainties on those. If we don't use the science of projections into our planning, we might be surprised to see that we are going to be flooded more frequently and probably retreat sooner than later.
The past 2 years have just been hard to imagine, given that in 2019 we were under for a total of 94 straight days. And honestly, like in 2015, we had gone under for 22 days, and I just couldn't imagine that. And I thought, how can this be? This has to be a fluke of nature, and that it couldn't be worse than that. And I was wrong, because in 2019, we were 94 days, and last year we were underwater for 70-some, I think like 73, 74 days.
The Florida Keys is a low-lying set of islands that stretches out over 100 miles in the Atlantic Ocean. We are seeing the effects of sea level rise already in many communities throughout the Keys. To prepare for the effects of climate change, which is, of course, sea level rise, as they continue to rise, we need to have sound engineering options and projects in place to help us deal with to become more resilient in terms of road elevation and facility elevation. I would call it urgent. I wouldn't call it an emergency. So what's happened? We were first to the table because we recognize our needs as an island community in the middle of an ocean that has very low-lying roads. We knew there was going to be a problem. So we've been doing our planning for a decade, and we're ready to now. We're going to have a prioritized list of road projects very soon where we can just peel them off and hand them over to engineering and construction. Says we can elevate the roads, and that's certainly doable. The whole second issue is that doesn't stop the waters from coming into the private properties. It's going to still continue to rise. It's going to come in, seep in through vacant lots that are low-lying, or even in lots with houses on. It's going to come everywhere. That's what water does. So we can build a road elevation system, but the whole second portion of this is now we have to decide, what are we going to do with the 75,000 lots in Monroe County, or however many there are? Are we going to allow people to elevate them? Are we going to allow people to put seawalls in? Of course, if you have a seawall only just in your yard, it's not going to do any good. You need to have a continued string of them. And those are very, in a place like environmentally sensitive like this, we currently have policies that don't encourage putting seawalls in or filling in of private property. So those are the really interesting policy discussions we're going to have coming up here in the next year or so.